Now, if you're completely new to watercolour and you'd like to paint animals or landscapes, I would get a book by Matthew Palmer. He's a brilliant teacher and everything is so clear and easy to understand and with step-by-step instructions. But Matthew's books are not just for complete beginners. Anyone who's lacking in confidence with their watercolour or feels they're not getting the results they should have a book like this, because it will take you back to the beginning and you'll be guided through each step. Now, this is Matthew's most recent book, Watercolour Animals for the Absolute Beginner, published in June 2024 with 160 pages. It's got 2 exercises to teach you the techniques and then 9 projects. It also has full-size fold-out outlines for each project, nice and clear in grey, easy to see. And I think that's also very important when people are starting out, because a lot of people are not very confident with their drawing. But if you are confident with drawing, you can just use the outline as a guide and draw your own picture. So let's have a look inside. We have a very smiley Matthew, lovely giraffe. And please don't think, oh, that's too difficult, because watercolour painting is a skill that you can learn. You just need to follow the instructions and practice. Just keep practicing. So here we have the contents. We've got introduction, materials, colour, sketching. We've got the 2 techniques, which are with an elephant and a tiger. So those 2 exercises, very important you follow them before you start, because you're going to learn all the techniques that you're going to need for the future projects. Then we have the 9 projects. We've got penguins, goldfinch, dolphins, parrot, cheetah, sea turtle, panda, polar bear and giraffes, and the index. I love this. Look how lovely the background is as well. Now, when we talk about the materials, Matthew mentions all the traditional materials, and he also talks about the natural collection. Now, this is Matthew's very own collection of watercolour paint. Now, he's not telling you you've got to use them. You can use whatever watercolour paint you've got. But I have all of the colours. I think they're absolutely beautiful, very high quality, but they're also affordable. So if you don't have any paint at all, I would definitely look at the Natural Collection by Matthew Palmer. We then move on to watercolour paint, paper and brushes, other materials, the colour. You can see some of Matthew's colours here, and mix in your own colours, the colour wheel. And here you see, if you don't have Matthew's colours, he tells you alternatives or how to mix them. Now here he's got a lovely little bit that's very helpful on the percentage of each colour to use to mix your colours. And we've got a little bit on sketching, and then we move on to the techniques. Now this is the elephant, and we have here lots and lots of instructions, and you can see here that the brush, you can actually see exactly where to put the paint, so that makes it a lot easier rather than just a written instruction. And you've also got the pointers here with additional information, the little boxes with some tips to help you. So you can see there's a lot of information there. Now that will help you through the rest of the book, and this second exercise will help you with faces. And then we have these fold out sheets. They're all numbered, and you can see they're the exact size, how clear they are. So maybe just move that over a little bit, you can see the whole thing is in there. And then tuck that back in. I think there's perforations on there, so you can take those pages out as well carefully. Now we start off with our actual projects. You can see again, lots of information. That's a fairly simple one, so we started off with the really easy project, and we move on, and as we go through, it gets a little bit longer. But again, you have all your information. And I thought when I saw this, oh, Matthew's got really dark dolphins, but did you know dolphins come in all shades from really pale to really dark? That's quite a dramatic picture. And then we move on to the parrot. You see we're getting a little bit more complicated, but you're building up your skills, you're learning as you work through the book. But you have all the steps, so much help in this book. And we've got the cheetah. Again, lots and lots of steps and information. And I absolutely adore this, the sea turtle. I think this is my favourite. I love the colours, I love the background. I've always been very fond of turtles. I think they're really interesting. And look, so much detail. Lots of close-ups as well. What a beautiful picture. Then we have the panda. And we move on to that polar bear with a very mystical, magical background. Can't turn the pages now. There's so many of them. 160 pages is a really good size book for a step-by-step book. And then we've got the giraffes. I'm going to show you every page, even if my fingers are giving up. Yeah, we'll get there. I'm nearly there. And there we go. And then we have the index. So you can see there is a lot in this book. It's quite a heavy book, it's quite a substantial book, but it really is packed full of information for anyone who is completely new or almost new to painting watercolour. And as I've mentioned before, Matthew is a very good teacher. If you get the chance to see him online, do grab that chance to take part in any online tutorial he's doing. He's very helpful, answers all your questions. And I have actually looked at Matthew's, one of his other books, his Watercolour Companion, which is also a really helpful book to have. So that's Watercolour Animals for the absolute beginner, or maybe someone who's just been painting for a while. And I just think they are really helpful books. It's really important when you start out, you get a book that's easy to understand, that you can really understand and see exactly what the artist is telling you. So that's a lovely book by Matthew Palmer.